Hello chess fans, fans of the beautiful game. This is Chess to Impress with another impressive position from history. This is a bit of a sad video. This is a tribute to the great Viktor Korchnoi, who passed away on Monday the 6th of June 2016. Korchnoi is generally regarded as the greatest player never to become world champion. Maybe together with Paul Keres he holds that mantle. And what I liked most about Korchnoi was his love for the game, his love for chess. He always played, even in the last years of his life when his health deteriorated. You could still see the reports with pictures of Korchnoi in a wheelchair, playing in an event with the same grit and determination that he always played with. And that's another aspect of Korchnoi I really liked. He was such a fighter. He was a relentless fighter, was not afraid of anybody, and loved chess with all his heart. There will be many obituaries on the internet, on YouTube, on Korchnoi, and I hope to show you one that is not there yet. I'm going to show you some positions which were probably Korchnoi's biggest moment. In 1978, in the World Championship match against world champion Anatoly Karpov, Korchnoi was 5-2 down after 27 games. It was for the player who would win 6 games would win the match, and being 5-2 down, Korchnoi was in big trouble. But then he won 3 games in 4 games, so 3 games in a draw to make it 5-5. And then unfortunately for him, he lost the 32nd game. But I want to show you those 3 wins, and the amazing thing in those 3 games that he won was that he outplayed Karpov in endgames. Karpov, the great endgame virtuoso, was outplayed by Korchnoi in those 3 endgames and lost all 3 of them. This is the position after 42, King G1 to F2, and Karpov is white, Korchnoi is black in the 28th game. So the score is 5-2 for Karpov, and here they adjourned the game, and the next day it showed that Korchnoi had sealed the move c6, c5. Black is slightly better, but the consensus at the time was that after King e3, white should be able to keep this position within the boundaries of a draw. But instead, after the nightly analysis, Karpov played d4, d5, which is not the strongest move. Of course, it becomes very sharp now with those passed pawns. And Korchnoi was, as I said, able to outplay Karpov, because this is the final position. This is the position where Karpov resigned. And position material-wise is equal, but of course those pawns on a3 and b3 are a lot more dangerous than white's pawns on f3 and g4. Here Karpov resigned. He has to try and stop the pawns. He could have, of course, tried rook c1, but it wouldn't have worked. A variation then is rook a7. Karpov would have played rook b6, attacking the pawn on b3, rook b6 check. Rook d b7 is then a logical answer. Then he could have played his last trump card, rook b c6, threatening checkmate. But of course, Korchnoi would not have fallen for that, and he would have played, for example, rook a5, and now there's nothing for white to come up with. The a and b pawn will roll down the board, and black will win this position very easily. So that was Korchnoi's first win of the 3. So that in the 28th game he made the score 5-3. Still Karpov was 2 games ahead. And then let's have a look at the next game, game 29. This is the adjourned position of game 29. Korchnoi is white, Karpov is black, and Karpov has just played bishop d6 to e7, and it was up to Korchnoi to seal the move. It took him 36 minutes before deciding on the sealed move, which meant he only had 24 minutes left for the next 16 moves, so he was already a little bit under time pressure. He played rook h6 as his sealed move. Let's look at the position. Position materially is equal, but white is better. he has a more active rook, his bishop and knight are also more active, and he has more space. But you would expect Karpov to be able to defend this, but he couldn't. Again, Korchnoi outplayed him, and this is the final position after 79 a5 a6. White is a pawn up, and what a pawn. The pawn on a6 is of course really dangerous. Here Karpov resigned. He could have played rook a1 behind the pawn, but then there is a6 a7, because if you take that pawn, there is bishop f2, and the rook will fall. Bishop f2 check, and the rook will fall. Another way black could have tried to defend this is knight c6, but then also a7, and after knight takes e7, bishop f2, the knight falls, and okay, rook and bishop against rook would be a draw, but of course both parties still have a pawn. White will be able to win the black pawn and keep his own pawn, and then he has an easily winning position. That's why Karpov resigned, and now suddenly the score was 5-4, and within 2 games from 5-2 to 5-4, the pressure now was really on Karpov. And let's look at, there wasn't a draw in the next game. Let's not look at that one, but let's look at the game after that, game 31, with Korchnoi white and Karpov black. This is the adjourned position after 47 f4 f5. It's for 47th move, because Karpov had a lot of time left on the clock and decided to play on after the 40th move instead of adjourning the game and losing his advantage on the clock. And maybe he shouldn't have done that. This position is better for white. White is Korchnoi, black is Karpov. He has more space, and also some ideas with the breakthrough a5, a6 or d4, d5 can become dangerous. White can play on those breakthroughs, and black constantly has to keep an eye on those. So it's much easier, the position is much easier to play for white than for black, even though objectively the position is even. Karpov sealed the move g takes f5, and Korchnoi took back, and as we did before, let's move to the final position. So look at this one, 5 pawns each on each side, a rook endgame with 5 pawns each, and 23 moves later, this is the final position where white is 2 clear pawns up. The black king is cut off, the white king is quite active, and there is nothing to play for at this level. It's an easy win for white. So Korchnoi had done the impossible from 5-2 down. He had won 3 of the next 4 games and made it 5-all. He called it himself, it's now a toss of a coin. He didn't get carried away with himself, but he knew he had a great chance, and unfortunately he lost the next game, which I will not show. Now I might show that in a later video. This is a tribute to Viktor Korchnoi, his incredible comeback in 1978. From 5-2 to 5-5 against world champion Anatoly Karpov. Viktor Korchnoi, may he rest in peace. Thank you for watching.